What's going on, everybody? I am Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged into the Social Plug Podcast, where we connect you to level up and where we discuss ordinary people doing extraordinary things. We are always powered by Social Plug Media. Today, we are on beautiful and historic downtown New Braunfels, and I'm here with J-Rock. What's going on, J-Rock?
What is going on, man? Give me just 1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't realize what was going on. I just want to make sure everything was good. What's up, man?
Now he's got the sunglasses on, ready to go.
Now I know exactly
what I'm doing, so here we go.
J-Rock's turning into RoboCop, man.
I'm having a little bit of fun out here, man.
So, J-Rock, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on this podcast.
Bro, it has been a good while, but I feel good to be back. I feel like, I don't know, like we're in a new era of some sort. You know what I mean?
We're always evolving, always improving, always going next level, man.
So what did you do on your break, bro?
Bro, I did a lot of things, man. As you know, I'm in real estate, so I was selling houses and helping people and provide value in their lives, helping them, solve problems. Man, that's what we do.
Hell yeah.
If you're not helping people solving problems and solving their problems, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
You gotta be able to, the people you know, if you're a mentor or you have some kind of information that you can give to somebody to help them out in their time of need or in their time of want, you do that. And that's what makes you a leader, man. So I'm a firm proponent that you got to help people out. So I did a lot of that for the last 2 weeks. And I've been itching. I'm like, man, when are we going to get on the podcast? When are we going to get on the podcast? So today we got a great guest, man. Today's show is going to be entertaining. It's going to be very insightful, influential.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to learn some things about certain industries. You're going to learn some stuff about struggle, trials, tribulation, and how to level the hell up, man.
Yeah, and I think what I've missed out of my itch, if you would say, is the fact that, like, man, I've really been missing these guests. Like, I've been missing meeting new people, learning about new people, and again, like, I feel like once you do that, you're growing yourself. And the break, I learned all new stuff about what we can do, where we can go, and I'm excited to bring the people on as guests to help us get there too. So, be awesome, man. I'm pretty excited about everything.
So I look forward to a lot of new content. We got a lot of ideas. We got smart people on our team, from you to the rest of the team. Ideas are just constantly flowing on how to improve and how to give a good presentation to people from these backdrops. By the way, let me tell you about our sponsor today, PB Backdrops. So everything that we have here, I'm surrounded by several backdrops. I got a badass table cover here. They are from PB Backdrops. So my buddy Brian Ginsberg, he has great content and great production here, and he's helped us not only grow our brand, but grow the brand of others. So his team is dedicated to serving in any industries, because every industry needs some kind of branding or presentation. So he can help you with tents, canopies, banners, signs, backdrops, and much more, man. You can find these guys at pbbackdrops.com. Big shout out to Brian Ginsberg and his entire staff. So, like I said earlier, this show is going to be very entertaining, very influential, and hopefully you learn some stuff and you get some value out of it.
Heck yeah.
So,
hear that?
I do.
Shout out PB Drops, by the way, man. A little announcement there. So, anyways, we're having fun with this stuff, man. So, sorry, Johnny, if I'm getting a little too pointed here.
No, man. So, I know you sounded like a rat or a mouse earlier.
Earlier I was sounding
like this.
Yeah, you sound.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, how would it feel if I had a conversation like this the whole time?
I think I would cut you the heck off, man. If you were talking to me like that for more than a minit, I'd say, J-Rock, what the hell, man? I can't do it any longer.
Yeah. It sounds like you're talking probably one of your kids at home, right? Yeah? What do they say? That slaps?
Slaps?
Is that what they say now? Like this, it slaps?
Is that a
like
trending word?
Yeah, so like I even hear Richie say it at Greenleaf. He's like, bro, that food slapped. I'm like, what? Was it alive still? He said, no, it slapped like it was good. I was like, that's a new word.
Okay, I'm going to start using that. Slaps.
Slaps.
So this show's going to slap, man.
There you go. It's going to slap.
Right? It's going to slap you in a lot of ways.
Let's go.
So today's special guest, man, he hails from El Salvador.
Really?
That's a long.
That is a long way.
Long way from here, but he started from the bottom and now he's here.
Now he's here.
He was raised in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
All right, that's right down the road. A lot of diversity in Houston. A lot of things going on, a lot of industries, a lot of corporate giants there. A great baseball team.
I was about to say, I wonder what his team is. We'll have to figure that out.
Football team as well.
Yeah.
They got C.J. Stroud, and they got some good people there in Houston.
I would even think that you would probably go for Houston before the Cowboys. Am I correct?
I don't go for Dallas, man.
Yeah,
I just don't, man.
We won't go there. It's
I got my reasons, man. So he was living in California for 25 years, and now he's finally home to San Antonio, man. A lot of things going on in San Antonio. San Antonio's a place to be. My heart is in San Antonio, but now my head lies in New Braunfels. He followed love coming to San Antonio, and we'll figure out what the heck that means, man.
We'll say that again?
He followed love.
He followed love.
Yeah, he followed love.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
so, love is a powerful thing.
I'm just trying to get followed, but okay.
Yeah. So this man is a serial entrepreneur. That means he owns multiple businesses, got his hand in a lot of industries. He's a sales and marketing expert. He's a future book author. So he's in the middle of getting the steps ready to write a book, man. And he's not a businessman. He's a business man, like Jay-Z says, right?
Yeah.
So he's done new home sales. He's a pioneer in a lot of things solar. I call him the Solar King.
The Solar King?
So I see him on social media, and he's always talking about solar and helping people with that investment as well. He used to do roofing, but now he's on to bigger things, and now he does vacation sales. So he can help you get to Disney. He can help you get to Acapulco, to Aruba, Alaska, and beyond, man. So he's also a leader. He's a negotiator, and he's an influencer, and he's my friend, the hustler, Cristian Montalvo. What's up, Cristian?
My man.
What is up, brother?
I didn't know who he was talking about.
Dude,
I'm like, they got the wrong guy on the show.
I was just missing astronaut. I was missing physicist. I was missing doctor. I was missing chiropractor.
Bro, give me 5 years.
I mean, I gave him everything else except for those.
Yeah,
right?
man, dude. Thank you. That's a very warm greeting. I appreciate it, and I also appreciate being on your Social Plug podcast.
You're plugged in, my man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, we love our guests.
Yeah.
So we don't just have anybody on our show, on our platform.
Not just anybody.
We got to make sure these guys are not only legit, but they got a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Because we talk about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, right? And you're just not doing extraordinary things now. You always haven't been doing extraordinary things. You started, from the bottom.
Yeah.
You come from El Salvador. You're an immigrant, right?
Right.
And you didn't know that you were going to be doing this stuff today in America, right?
Not at all.
You didn't know anybody. Your parents probably just brought you over, and you were just going along for the ride.
That's right.
But I'm a firm believer, you got to make decisions and you got to connect with people along the way in order to pave the way for your future and your legacy and beyond, man. So
Absolutely.
You've done that, and we'll talk a little bit about you and your struggles and your trials and tribulations, what challenges you faced, and what the hell you got going on today, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast, the Social Plug Podcast, man. It's a pleasure and an absolute honor to have you. I watch you on social media. You're all over the place. You're definitely impactful. And whether you're talking about leveling up or just showing where you're at for the day, people watch you, man. And we're all connected in some way, shape, or form. So thanks for being plugged in.
Thank you, brother.
To our network.
I appreciate it. I'm very honored, very blessed to be here. I will tell you one thing. Your podcast is so influential, it's so important that I'm a little bit of camera shy right now. For those of you
No, you're not.
For those of you that know me,
get out of here.
For those of you that know me, you guys know I'm shy. I'm an introvert. I'm a quiet guy. You'll never see me in front of a camera, so I'm a little. I don't know what to do with my hands right now, guys. I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
You're a little unconfident of yourself, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, you're a beast, and I love that, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm influenced by people like you, all right? Because you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to get out there and show people who the hell you are.
That's right.
And I love that.
That's right.
That's what's up.
I think nowadays in social media, I think people have a facade. People have this persona. People have a character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people are always talking about their wins and their blessings and how things are going really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem with that is that people are not showing their true colors.
Right.
I like to show myself my wins, my losses, my opportunities to learn, because that makes me human. That makes me who I am. I keep it 100% real. Some people like it. Some people gravitate to it the way that you have, and I appreciate you saying those kind words about me. Some people don't like it because I'm too real. And that's okay, right? I want to be 100% authentic to me, so then people like me for me. People are inspired and motivated by the real person who I am and not someone who pretends to be someone they're not.
Christian, it's funny you say that. One thing I learned in business, man, you're going to lose people along the way. Not everybody's your fan. Not everybody's going to like you. And that's okay.
That is okay.
All right? Not everybody's your client. You can't please everybody. People even hated Mother Teresa. Yeah. Right? They hated Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a fact.
Yeah.
So you can't go into being a mogul or an influencer and have the idea or concept that everybody's going to love you. They're not. You're going to lose people, man. That is the mindset you need to have as a business person.
Right.
Right? Do you agree with that, J-Rock?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And there's you lose a lot of you lose a lot of yourself whenever you're not wanting to be that open-minded, I think, too. You know what I mean? People stop wanting to, whether it's hang out with you or deal with you or work with you. I think you definitely have to be open-minded to all that as well, man.
Yep. So you're going to lose people along the way.
Yeah.
They're going to fall by the wayside, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's a filter.
Right.
Right? Those that fall off the mountain, it's okay. It's probably better for you.
Right.
It's better to lose them now than when you invest so much time and effort and energy into that relationship. You find out if they're a snake in the grass. You find out if they're a lizard or whatever, and then you can just be like, you know what, I'm gonna move on. Right. Don't be pissed off, but just be like, you know what, hey, it's a loss, but it's okay. It's addition by subtraction sometimes, and I've learned that. So when I first started in business, I was like, I wanted everybody to like me. I want everybody to follow me. No, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So quit thinking that everybody's gonna do that. And some people lose their confidence because they want to be so likable. If one person doesn't like him or one person posts something negative or doesn't agree with him, they curl up in the fetal position, right?
That's crazy.
And then they kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
No, you can't have that. You gotta have a strong mentality, strong mindset.
I think what you touched on, strong mentality, strong mindset, is very true. I think it comes with maturity. You know, when you first get started, you're in the limelight, you're in front of cameras, you're speaking, you're doing networking events. You want everyone to like you. But one of the things that I learned along the way is not everyone's meant for you, and you're not meant for everyone.
Correct.
The same thing is in business. Like, not all business is good business. Not all money is good money, right? There's been certain situations where I took a picture with the wrong person, and it had a negative effect. Like, people didn't want to be associated with me because I took a picture with a person who I had no idea who that person was. They just came to me like, hey, man, I want to take a picture with you. You're all over social media. You're a great networker. Let's take a picture. And next thing you know, people are dropping off of my social media. I didn't understand why. So not all business is good business. Not all money is good money. And another thing that you touched on, people are going to fall off. Some people will not understand your dream. They will not understand your journey. And that's okay because it's not their dream and it's not their journey to understand. So some people will come into conflict with you based on what you're doing, and then they may not want to be associated with you, and it's okay. Let them fall off. You know, it goes back to that old saying, people come for a season or they come for a reason. And we have to be able to distinguish who's who and what's what. Are you bringing value to me? If not, then you may not be a good fit for me, and I'm okay with that, right? I gotta keep it moving.
Yeah. Mindsets aren't cookie cutter. And not everybody has the same mindset. It's all custom. We're custom people. My mindset is customized for me. Your mindset's customized for you, and so on and so forth. So in today's political world, today's business world, if somebody doesn't like one thing you say, or if they don't agree with one thing, they cut you off, right?
That's crazy.
Just like, and it's unfortunate that what you're telling the story that you took a picture with somebody.
Right.
It's because there was some kind of competition in there, or somebody didn't like that person, and it's unfortunate, man, that people have the mindset just because you're taking a photo with somebody, now they are kicking you off their team or kicking you off Facebook or whatever, right? I mean, why? That's so immature. Instead of asking you, hey, Christian, hey, what's your affiliation? But even then, who gives a shit?
Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm
taking a picture with this guy, and who gives a shit, right?
You know, I'm a little bit old school. Let me rephrase that. I'm very old school. So I'm going to treat you the way that you treat me. I'm going to judge and characterize you by the way you are with me. It doesn't matter what conflict you have with someone else, because There's always, how many sides to the story, Johnny?
There's 3 or 4 or 5, man.
3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I say there's always 3. There's their side, there's your side, and there's the truth.
And then there's the people that you tell your story to.
There you go.
And those are other entities.
That's on a deeper level right there.
Because that gets spread out to other people as well. So there could be 100 different versions of the story, right?
Right.
So
that's crazy you say that. And one thing that I did find out the hard way, sometimes you're guilty by association, especially, and you know, I don't hate to say it. I'm going to say it on your podcast. Real estate in this area is very cliquish. Like if you're part of a particular brokerage, you can't go do an event or a networking event at a different brokerage because what are they going to think? They're going to see me there. You know, I'm going to betray my own brokerage. You know, sometimes people get too cliquish when it comes to our industry that we leave opportunities on a table. We leave opportunities to meet someone, to learn from them, to make a new friend in a different brokerage. But that comes to scarcity mindset. People, you know, don't think there's enough business out there. You know, when I first got started here in San Antonio, I was doing door-to-door sales for Guardian Protection Services, like an ADTs of the world. And my mentor manager at the time told me, Christian, there are so many rooftops in San Antonio. And that's true. And I took that to, there's so many opportunities for real estate, for solar, for landscaping, for pool service, for a ton of things. There's no reason to be scarcity in only thinking, you know, my brokerage is the best or my leader or my mentor is the best. You know, we can learn from everyone, but you need to have that abundant, open mind.
Spot on, man.
Yeah.
We're firm believers, J-Rock and I and our staff here at Social Plug Media and beyond. We connect everybody. We have realtors that come in. I connect with them. I don't give a shit if you're from Keller Williams or EXP or whatever.
Right.
We all help each other, and that's my mindset. Competition is such a toxic thing, and like I told you before the show here, nobody does what I do, so there is no damn competition.
Right.
All right, because we talk about competition. So maybe in a small mindset where we both sell houses or help people buy houses, okay. But when it comes to competition, nobody has my skill set, man. 24 years of active duty Air Force, leadership, right? Award-winning sales, marketing, negotiation, and leadership, because I was in recruiting. Not a lot of people can say that. So the competition gets kind of filtered out at that point. I've led teams. I led hundreds of teams throughout my Air Force career, right? The fact that I own a Social Plug podcast, right? And the Social Plug Media platform. Nobody else does, right? What other realtor or what other business guy can say they have the Air Force experience, the leadership experience, they own a social media concept, a photo booth, they do all these things. So that's why I'm like, you know what? There is no damn competition. Quit trying to compare yourself to me. I have a different skill set. I have a different mindset. I'm ferocious when it comes to some stuff. And some people might look at me as, oh, he's conceited, he's cocky, he's arrogant. No, I provide a lot of value for people, and I'm confident in my brand and in myself that I can say, I'll put myself up against any of these guys.
Yeah.
Right? And some people can't say that. And they don't have the balls to say it. They don't have the confidence to say it. I can go into a room with suits and say, gentlemen, this is what I present to you. This is my value. And a lot of people be like, holy shit, this guy has a lot of stuff. But sometimes I dress with a cap. I dress with a polo, with some Jordans. I don't always have to wear a suit, right? Because when you wear a suit, what happens? You look a little fake or a little like you're misrepresenting who you really are.
Do you feel like being like too formal now, like wearing a suit and all that, like it's kind of out of place now
I
in
think
business?
So. Yeah.
I think that's something that I feel like is changing right now as well. You know what I mean?
So you got to be a chameleon.
Right.
You got to fit in with suits. You got to fit in with the military guys. You got to fit in with any industry. Hashtag any industry, right? Because we are affiliated with everything. And if you're not affiliated with every industry, then you've got to get on board.
Yeah, you're missing out.
You're missing out.
So it's funny that you say that because I consider myself a chameleon. You know, I can talk to someone in the hood and I could talk to multi-million-dollar, business owners. I know how to do that. But if you never get out of your circle, if you never want to experience a different line of industry or, network with different people or meet different people, then you're never going to learn how to do that. I can do that because I've sat down at the bar at Hotel Emma with a guy who's a multi-million-dollar business owner, has an MLM that's been around for 30 plus years.
I can't compete with that guy.
When I talk to that dude, he's like, man, I like that idea. Man, we should implement. That's coming from me.
Right.
I'm not where he's at, but the reason why is because I'm confident to tell him what I think, would probably work best for his business. And whether he was being polite or not, it doesn't matter because we had a connection. He was like, man, I like what you're saying. I like what you're doing. And I'm just, compared to him, quote unquote, a nobody. But that's the difference between myself and other people. I don't compare. Why should I compare? Your journey, your vision, your dream, where you're at in life is different from where I'm at in life. I got to focus directly on me.
Right.
And you know what? I remember I saw this picture on social media where Michael Phelps is running a race. He's swimming a race with someone else. And he's at the front, he's leading, and he's focused directly on, the end. The person behind him is focused on Michael Phelps. And that's the problem. We're too busy looking at the people who have made it, the people who are successful, the people who are bigger than I am, and we're not focused on our own race. And then we lose focus and we lose where we should be. Focusing is on our race and our journey, not someone else's. I can't compare myself to Johnny. I've never been in the Air Force. I've never led teams of 100 plus. I've never had some of the accomplishments and accolades that you have. But I don't have to compare myself because right now, for example, we're at the table, I bring my sets of talents and skills, and then you bring your sets of talents and skill, and we collaborate.
That's the magic, my man. When my mindset and your mindset and J-Rock's mindset and whoever else, you put them together, now we form a cohesive unit, right? So now you're a resource for me. Now I can ping you for information. Hey, Cristian, I'm not in solar, but I might as well be because now I have a resource. So people can go to me for solar. People can go to you for Air Force advice. People can go. So that's the collaboration mindset. Yeah. So we kind of merge together to form one. And that is the value of having positive resources around you. There's no competition. I can't compete with you in solar. No. I don't know shit about solar. No. I can't compete with you in your struggle and your process that you took from being an immigrant all the way, and we're going to talk about that, by the way, coming all the way to where we are today. But if we put us together, we're stronger. But powerful. I just wish people would understand that concept, right? Stronger together. And to go back to the story about the person that you had 30-year, that leader. Yeah. What I love about what you just told me is that he listened to you. Right. And he said, you know what, that's a good idea. Because there's a lot of people who don't take advice from other people who aren't in their shoes, and they're missing the mark on a lot of things. They are. Just because you're in this position of a high status doesn't mean people below you have never been in that position don't have value or can't give you advice, because they're looking at life through a different lens. They're looking at you and your business through a different lens that you need to have looked at, right? But if you're just like this, deer in the headlights or just small-mindedness that my way is the only way, right, you're going to miss the damn mark. So you need to have people who aren't connected to you that'll give you advice. You need to take that advice. Right. I think that's so important, man.
There's an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with the group. Yeah. Why? Because there's strength in numbers. Absolutely. Right? There's only so much I can do. But I can leverage my associations. I can leverage my networking. I can leverage my friends. I can collaborate with them because they're going to bring a certain skill set to the table that I don't have, and vice versa. There's certain things where people that, from the social point of view, they're more successful than I am, but they come to me, hey, Cristian, how would you do this? How would you say this? What would you use on this graphic design, color schemes, or what have you, right? I get to collaborate with them because those are some of my strong suits. And we need to be able to, it's not using people, but you leverage people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you an example. I've had a radio show. I'm not used to being in front of the camera or speaking into a mic, but you have a podcast now, and I don't have my show anymore, right? I'm leveraging by being on here and getting exposure. You're leveraging by bringing a really great guy on, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
That's just the way that it is. We leverage each other, but one thing that I want to make very clear is the collaboration is for one thing and one thing only. As far as I've known you, you want to collaborate with people to bring value to the community. It's not about you and I. It's not about how you can help me or how I can help you.
I just present it.
How do we bring other people onto our journey, and how do we have them experience success the way that most people think that we're successful, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'll tell you one thing. I say think that we're successful because I know deep down inside, you don't think you're successful. You want to know why? Because hungry people want more and more and more. They want to level up. Yeah, we're never satisfied. You know, we want to level up.
But you got to have, that's a good point. You got to live in the moment, and sometimes you got to count your blessings and say, man, I'm blessed. I have everything I need right now. Do I want more? Yes, because I want that T-bone steak. I want that big Angus steak, whatever. Right. But right now, I'm thankful for my family, thankful for my health, thankful for you, thankful for J-Rock and everyone on my team. But yes, I'm always hungry. I can always eat again. Yeah. And that's kind of the mindset that we should have. So that's a good point.
Absolutely.
So, dude, I can go on and on and on about this, but let's backtrack and talk about your journey, because we're going to go back into this stuff. This is great content here. Yeah. All right. So you come from El Salvador.
Yep.
How old were you when you got to the United States?
Man, I must have been 4 years old.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I actually remember I started kindergarten here, and J.R. Harris Elementary on Broadway in Houston, Texas. And backtrack maybe a couple of years before that, or about a year before that, we migrated here because a civil war broke out in our country. And everything that you see on the movies, you know, some of those things that are super exaggerated, they really happen in life. You know, where you're walking on the street and you just see dead bodies on the side. Mm-hmm. When you see people decapitated, people, you know, missing limbs, people that go missing that were never found, you know. So we had to migrate. And I remember crossing the Rio Grande. I remember being an immigrant and doing that, you know, crossing the river. So when people, and I'm just going to say this, you know, when people use like the N-word, right? That ethnic group, they get offended by it. When people would call me a wetback, I was actually proud of it. I was actually proud of being called a wetback because of who I was. They said it as a racial slur, but I took pride in it because what I was and how I became does not define who I am and where I'm going to go.
Right.
You know, so yeah, we got here at an early age. All I know is America. I'm red-blooded American because I started kindergarten here. I know the culture, the food, the people. You know, I bleed the red, white, and blue, man. So
boom, man.
100%.
Proud.
100%.
America.
You know, because there's some people that they come from, you know, different backgrounds. They may not like their backgrounds, and then they get here and they start criticizing this and that, and I don't like this, and I don't like here, and I don't like there. I have a Russian friend of mine, and she's a red-blooded American, and, you know, she's got a thick accent. And one day I asked her, I said, why are you, you know, so deeply ingrained in your political party? And she said, Christian, I come from shit. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever want to go back to that. And I see what's happening in the political, you know, realm right now. And it seems to be going that way. And I don't ever want that to happen to these people.
Right.
Yeah.
Craziness what's going on in the world, man.
It's crazy.
So much shit going on, it makes your head spin.
Yeah.
I used to watch the news daily. I try not to watch it anymore, man. Because it's shit I can't control.
Right.
Right? America is changing. Whether you say it's for the better or for the worse,
right?
It definitely is changing.
Yep.
A lot of things going on. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know what's going to happen with the real estate market. There's a lot of changes going on with that industry as well. Just business and life has evolved in so many ways. No matter what your political affiliation is, no matter where you come from. You're here now, man. So just make the best of it.
Make the best of it, yeah.
And
greatest country in the world. Yeah, make the best of it.
Regardless, it is the greatest country in the world. Regardless, the greatest military in the world.
Right.
So I embrace America. I bleed red, white, and blue, and it pumps through my soul, man. So thank you.
That's deep. Well, no, thank you for your military service.
No, man. I couldn't do it without everybody supporting me.
Yeah.
My goal was to go in for 4 years, but I went 20 extra. But it's definitely changed my life and changed my perspective on things. When I went in at 19 years old, I had a perspective. I would listen to like NWA and all this, fuck the police and all that. And that was my mentality because that's what I knew. That's what I grew up with. And I had this mindset that the government was bad. Uncle Sam was out to get you. And, you know, you coming with me and your life is over. And I joined, man, and I loved it. I love the camaraderie. I love just, it's a business mindset. It's an enterprise. thinking that you can work together with other people from different ethnicities. So I saw white people differently. Now I'm like, okay, white people are good.
Right.
Black people are good. Everybody, everybody has some value. But of course, in the military, people are filtered out, and everybody is sought after to be a leader and be an influencer in within the military realm. So it definitely opened my eyes to things, and it taught me being prepared, taught me being a follower, listening to authority, and being able to mold and shape others to just to be better, man. Because it's all about the team concept. And I still have that philosophy today in business, in life, with my children, with my colleagues, with my partners, things like that. I try to be like the Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
I think I posted Mr. Miyagi on your thing the other day, right? Because Mr. Miyagi, he's the sensei, and he's like the old man, the mentor, right? But
I think you were trying to tell me I'm an old man, but that's okay.
No. How old are you, by the way?
48.
Okay, bro, you're older than me, man.
I know, that's what I said.
I thought I'm 47. And that's
a year.
Yeah, no, I mean, but dude,
he made it seem like a lot.
No, I got to respect my elders, man. You're
Jay, he made it like, damn,
bro. I know he like jumped back like, damn.
Hey, do you remember that Kevin Hart with Don Cheadle when he says you're 50, I'm 50.
Yeah, that's the way that I felt right now. I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude, because I was age is just kind of, people say age is a number. Age is a mindset.
Oh, don't backtrack now, brother. He was like, he made it sound like he was 32.
Because it's rare.
Like he's 32. Like,
he made it sound like he was younger than me. That's what he tried to do.
Because it's rare. I have somebody older than me. I think you are our oldest.
That is true.
You're our oldest guest, man. We just set a record here.
Shit, is he making me feel better? I mean, I don't know what that means.
You're
Chris,
our oldest guest.
I'll make you feel good, bro. You're the first one to ever get it right when you said you're plugged in social media.
Let's go. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Dude, I like that. So
I'll give you that.
You're the elder statesman here. You got to respect my elders.
You little whippersnappers. You little bad motherfucker.
Yeah, you have a cane and a walker waiting for you out there.
I do.
But what a journey, man. So immigrant coming to Houston. You spent some time in Houston. You got a lot of probably family and stuff still living there.
Yeah.
I'm sure, once your family moved you there, they spread out and branched out, and more Cristian Montalvos were born, and do you have any kids out there?
Yeah, I've got one daughter. Shout out to my daughter, Jo Angel Montalvo. She is in sunny Southern California. She complains the weather's 78 and sunny, and she's like 15 minutes away from the beach. Beautiful beaches of California. Yeah, but before that, let me backtrack a little bit. It hasn't always been, sunshines, rainbows, and butterflies. I grew up in Magnolia, which is on the southeast side of Houston. Went to school in 2nd Ward, went to school in 5th Ward.
That's like ghetto boys, man.
Oh, I went to school in 5th Ward, and I remember just the building had like 3 stories, and then on the 3rd story, they had a daycare because a lot of the young teens were getting pregnant before leaving high school, so they had a daycare facility on the 3rd floor. On the 2nd floor, I remember going into class one time, and people were freaking out. I said, what happened? And they said, well, this dude just opened the window and started firing at his car because all his dope is in there and someone was trying to break into it. This is high school.
And that's normal shit.
Normal shit. And I was like, what? He did what? And I was like, that's crazy. So H.P. Carter was a special school. When you got kicked out of every other school, this is the school that you went to. It's no longer around. They tore the building down. But that's the environment that I grew up, like ghetto boy shit. Like at the time, it wasn't normal to have police officers on campus. It just wasn't a thing back then, right? Late 80s, early 90s. But at that time, they had police presence there at the gate. So it wasn't easy. Now I talk to friends that grew up with me in the hood, and hey, what happened to this guy? 35 to life.
Dead.
Hey, what happened to this dude?
Oh,
dead.
shit.
Hey, what happened to this guy? They found him on the bayou, chopped up. What happened to this dude? Drug deal went wrong, shot in the head. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. There's a lot of things that I count my blessings because you're looking at a statistic. It's sad to say, like, Jay kind of alluded to it when you said NWA and fuck the police and the government, this, that, the other. I grew up in that environment. I was,
you had Bushwick Bill and Scarface and all that stuff.
I grew up in that, and it's sad to say that in my early teen years, 13, 14, I didn't think I was going to be alive past 18. And then when 18 hit, I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to be alive past 22. And then 22 hit, and I'm like, that mentality that we had because that's what we saw. That's the environment. That's what we grew up against. People weren't making it out of the hood. And especially they weren't making it out of the hood to be an entrepreneur or to be someone, you know, positive in the community. You know, we
Maybe selling some drugs.
We grew up thinking, you know, something was going to go wrong. We were going to either end up dead or in jail. And that's how I grew up. So you're looking and you're talking to a statistic that should have been, but it's not.
What do you think is worse nowadays? Like the way you're saying, like, okay, so you obviously grew up in Houston, Johnny grew up in San Antonio. There's like this raza culture side of each, also any demographic, obviously. Is it scarier to grow up in that, or like these kids now taking guns to school and shit now? Like, just that difference is so scary. Like you said, there wasn't no cops in the school. Now there has to be a cop at the school now.
It's normal.
You know, and it's normal now. That's what's more scary. Is that more normal, or knowing that our cultures change over time as we've gotten older too in the streets?
Society has changed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think as people, we have to understand that change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether it's in school, society, in business. It's going to happen. So we have to learn to adapt to it. One thing that I can respect growing up, if I had beef with you and you had beef with me, I would say, meet me at 3 o'clock outside, and then boop, 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 done. And then after that, take it a step further of respect. We shake hands and we call it a day. That's it.
Or we'll breakdance against each other. Remember that? That's old school. Remember that?
That's in San Antonio. That didn't happen in Houston. That didn't happen in Houston. So after someone wins the fight, you shake hands, and then like if your beef is really bad, then you just keep beefing it out till someone decides to shake hands. But I remember like being, you know, in the middle of the street outside of our middle school, and everyone around us, because it was said, "I'll see you at 3," and then that spread like wildfire. Mm-hmm. That spread like, you know,
oh, they're gonna get a photo.
Yeah, like in today's society, it went virtual, right? Everyone's like 3 o'clock, Christian and some other dude.
Now it's Facebook Live.
Yeah, bro, I was a fighter, bro. I fought a lot. And
really?
I'll tell you one thing, man. I will tell you one thing, because I keep it 100% real. I got my ass whooped a lot of times. There's a lot that I won, but there was a lot that I didn't. I wasn't in the favor.
What would you say those ass whoopings taught you in life, though?
Good question.
Ooh, that's deep, man. You know, Grant Cardone says, if I'm going to take an ass whooping, I'm going to take it really quick. So in business and in life, you have to be able to take that ass whooping, but recover from it and move on. Most people get stuck in that breakup, the divorce, the business that went south, my bankruptcy, my blah, 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 fill in the blank. What happens with most people is they get stuck in that time frame and they never grow from it. So what I learned from taking ass whoopings is I take it and I keep it moving. We're not perfect. No. Things are not going to go the way that we planned them, but we don't get stuck in that situation or that time frame, because then we're never going to grow as people and we're never going to enjoy our lives. We're always going to be stuck in that defeat, in that loss, in that ass whooping that I took, regardless of what area in your life that is.
Sometimes you need an ass whipping.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need a reality check.
Yeah.
You need to get knocked in the mouth sometimes to get you back on track and refocus. Because sometimes you might be off track, get your ass beat, and then you're back in the middle, focused on the mission.
But what does that make you? It makes you a stronger person.
Yep. More mindful and more aware.
Right.
So my question for you was, you come from the ghetto. You come from the hood, right?
Yeah.
You were raised on these certain values and certain morals and dope and drugs and alcohol, all murder, right?
Right.
Did that make you better overall, your mindset? Because we talked about the ass whippings make you better. So how did that make you better overall today? Street smart.
Yeah.
You're more aware of your surroundings. You're more aware of bad people.
Yeah.
Bad deals, bad business, all these things.
Man,
you think it made you better?
Yeah, it made me better in the sense that as a teenager, I was influential. I was a natural leader, and I started a gang, right? Some of those traits...
You started a gang?
What was the name of your gang?
I can't say.
The Solar Kings.
No, it was, if you must know, I mean, it's been several years now, GTC, Gangster Type Criminals. All right. Right? So
Okay.
what did I
Google
say?
that.
No, don't. So what did I...
Don't do that.
I may or may not have started that gang. No, so those 3 attributes I now bring to the table as an adult. But how did it change my life? It impacted me in such a way that it scared me straight. Not in Houston, not in Magnolia, not in 2nd Ward, not in 5th Ward, but when I came to Cali, I saw real gangbanging.
Oh, yeah.
In LA,
Bloods,
I
Crips.
saw it was at the height of Bloods, Crips, movies like, Blood In, Blood Out, American Me.
Colors.
I mean, it was at the height. And I saw real 13-year-olds running after you in a car they didn't recognize just because they didn't recognize it on the block, running after you with a gun.
Yep.
Pop, 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 pop. Carjackings, like that kind of stuff scared me straight where I said, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be a gangster anymore. Because Houston level, San Antonio level, with all due respect, when you put it in the gang capital of the world, LA, whoa, different story. And that's when I said, you know what? That's not for me. I want to live a long life. I don't want to be dead at 15 or 18 because of some color or some block that I don't own or some drug that I'm going to sell. It just didn't make sense for me. And that's what made the pivot in my life for me to change. So it actually scared me straight, but I bring some of those attributes that I've always had to be a leader, to be an influencer, and to start things, to now being an adult and being a positive influence on society.
Gang leader.
Gang banger, yeah.
Yeah, so those guys out there in LA, they had a different mindset. Their legacy was, how many years am I going to spend in prison?
Bro.
Am I going to, how much people can I kill? And they didn't give a shit.
And it's sad.
And there was so many deaths and crime going on that cops they couldn't solve every crime.
Bro, it's generational.
Right, it's generational.
There's gangbangers out there that are like 3rd and 4th level generation.
Yep.
And they're proud of it.
The OGs, man.
Oh man, those are real OGs, and much respect to all the different neighborhoods in different parts of the world that I lived in, but a lot of respect in LA because that's what changed my whole mindset around. That was a pivoting point for me where I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And then very important, in 95, I found a church and I found Christ, and that was a game changer right there. It was a game changer.
That was it, man. Christ is a part of your life.
That was it. That was it. Good, bad, indifferent, imperfect, the way that I am. Rub people the wrong way, have done the wrong things, have committed mistakes, and among other things, right? But God was a foundation for me to turn my life around. And that is the reason why I'm alive today and I'm not dead or in prison somewhere.
I love that, man. Believing in something bigger than yourself, God, is part of everybody's life, whether you know it or not, whether you believe in it or not. I think too many times we shun God, we shun religion out because it's not popular anymore. And I think that's why you have a lot more crime and things going on because people, they've given up on that and they don't believe that. So 20, 30 years ago, we were based on faith, based on God, Jesus, going to church, all that. We don't do that anymore. Overall, I mean, there's some people that still do it, obviously, but it's not ingrained in us. And people, they kind of maneuver out of that, and they're on to other things. And it's just crazy because you don't have that foundation anymore of morals, ethics, doing the right thing, integrity, things that the Bible teaches you, right, how to live. Because I think the Bible was written a long time ago, but those values and morals are timeless. I mean, being good to people, and that's what the foundation is. And I think we lost that, man. So God does bring a lot of love, man. So speaking of love, I know love brought you to San Antonio, right? Tell me about that story.
All right. So it's an interesting story. It's a great story, but it's a great lesson too. You know, one thing that I've learned in my adult life is that, in fact, why don't you finish this phrase for me, Johnny? We either win or we
learn.
Damn, my man.
Win or you learn, man.
Not a lot of people get that. A lot of people are always talking about, losing or we lost.
That's what J-Rock and I always talk about. You win or you learn. You never lose unless you quit.
Never lose unless you quit.
That's right.
Man, I'm glad you got that. So most people don't get that. And the story with me is I found the love of my life. I tell people this. I found the love of my life, and then we moved to San Antonio, and now she's happily married with 3 kids. And they're like, oh, how cute, you guys started a family. I said, no, she's married to someone else with 3 kids with a different guy. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But make a long story short, I met her in California. I left everything. You know, I decided to take a chance on our love, take a chance on her, take a chance on me. And that's another moral of the story there. You always got to bet on you. You know, regardless of what people told me, don't do it. It's crazy. You know, how are you going to uproot from Cali to Texas to San Antonio? You don't know anyone there. What if it doesn't work out? That's the negativity in people. And
what if it does work out?
Yep, you took the words right out of my mouth. So the optimistic in me was like, what if it does work out? Right? Mm-hmm. So it didn't. You were right.
Yeah. So you might have dodged the bullet.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad that you said that. Some people say that I have, you know, because they still keep in touch with her. Some of my family members still do. Love of my life. We're shopping for a house. You know, we want to get married. We want to have kids. We want to live the American dream. And then just things didn't work out. She eventually ended up, you know, it's networking too much. She eventually ended up, you know, meeting someone, getting married and having kids with someone that we network with, someone that I knew from our networking spaces. And I actually
took networking a step further.
Like, you know,
she took it to the next level.
You know, if you want to network and build relationships, like she took that to the T. Like she built a relationship off that network.
And she built a family.
Yeah, a foundation. You know, you guys may not see that on camera right now, but Johnny just made me. Just kidding. We learned from it. And the lesson for me in that is that regardless of how much investment I had in it, regardless of how vested I was in it, sometimes things don't work out. And we have to learn to pivot. We have to have a catalyst moment in our lives where we turn around and we just keep it moving, you know? I'm not going to say that it was easy. Any breakup is difficult, whether you're the person who initiates it or they initiate it with you and you get broken up with. It's always difficult, but we cannot stay in that time of our lives because then we're never going to grow. We're never going to give the next person that you may be able to meet an opportunity to give you the very best that they have to offer because you're too busy doing what? Comparing. You're too busy thinking about what it was, how the other person was, you know, how does this person compare? And for a while, like women that I was dating, I was comparing them to my ex, and it never worked out for the same reason. It wasn't her. Mm-hmm. I had to learn to let go and finally be done with it and say, you know what, I'm going to let it go. And then that's when I started growing in relationships. So yeah, that's what brought me to San Antonio.
So are you still looking for love, or have you found love again?
You know, looking for love in all the wrong places. Come on, you know.
Hey, I'm gonna add singer to your resume.
Karaoke. So fun fact: anybody know what karaoke stands for? Anybody know what it means?
Enlighten me. Tell me.
Something Johnny doesn't know. That's
right. That is actually shocking.
Yeah. So karaoke is obviously Japanese for tone deaf.
Okay.
Right. You don't know what you're singing, and obviously people who karaoke, most people don't know how to karaoke. Anyways, that was just a fun fact. What was the question?
Are you an eligible bachelor, sir?
I was trying to dodge the bullet.
Were you?
I thought he forgot. I was like, what did you? Yeah. I was like, what did you ask me again? Oh yeah, he did ask that.
And what platforms do you go to? Tinder or no? I'm kidding.
The platform that I go on, they actually blocked it. You need a password, but that's a different story. Anyways,
big shout out to Pornhub.
Yeah, let's go.
Making a lot of men and women sexy again.
Verify their age again. Yes. Yeah. No, so what was the question again? No, so here's the reality of it. The times that I've fallen in love, I wasn't looking for it. And the times that in my opinion, right, in my life situations, on my experience, the times that I look for love, I don't find it. And the times where I'm not looking and I'm really loving myself, as corny and cheesy that you think that sounds, when you love you, you can prepare to be loved by someone else, and you can prepare to love someone else. So the times that I've looked for it, I repel it. And the times that I'm not looking, I'm just living my best life, it comes to me and it manifests itself, and then I fall in love with someone. So I'm not looking. I'm not actively looking.
So when you are looking, not just you, but anybody, eligible bachelors, eligible women, whatever, where do y'all look for love?
I don't know, but I've heard, I've heard Tinder's a good one, and I've heard This other one where the woman, Bumble, where the woman's the one that initiates. I've heard that's a good one. And I think Facebook, I think, I don't know, it's hearsay.
Marketplace?
Right? Yeah, no,
Marketplace.
Not marketplace.
Put yourself up for sale.
Yeah, not marketplace. It's
Facebook dating.
Facebook dating.
Yeah,
Who
it's
said that? You
Facebook.
said
Yeah,
that?
it's Facebook dating. Yeah.
So
I think J-Rock is a connoisseur of
Actually,
that.
I should probably do this. Watch. I should probably talk like
Because so that way they don't know it's me, right? Just like it's not me. Facebook, but Facebook dating does it all.
Yeah. So
yeah, so I've heard.
he's trying to disguise his voice over there, but we know who the hell it is.
Yeah, we know who you are.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So,
You know, I will say this: the 2024 dating pool is different from when we grew up. You would have the cojones to go up to a girl, you know, hey girl, I like you. You got a boyfriend, you know, what's your number? And then we actually called each other and we had long conversations, and then we would meet up to go to the movies. And then next thing you know, you have a girlfriend, right? You know, back in the day, hey, you want to go around with me, right?
yeah, I remember that.
Now
you
it's,
want to what?
Go
You wanna
around.
yeah.
That means like dating. Do you want to date me? But it was called go around.
Go around.
hey, yeah, hey girl, you want to go around
I thought
with
you
me?
said like you want to go around with me. Like let's go.
So, you know, now it's just swipe left or right.
That's
That's
tough.
and as much as I've grown, it's a blessing and it's a curse, because then I find people who don't have an entrepreneur spirit. And I'm not, dogging the Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. What I am saying is mindset. Some people don't want to get out of that. They don't have any ambition. They don't have any drive. They don't have any goals. And it's difficult for me to connect with someone at that level. Nothing against it. They're just at a different level that I am. They're not in my journey, so I feel like we may not be compatible in that sense. So sometimes, finding someone compatible to me is not, readily accessible. So I do look, I jump on some of those sites, but I don't take it serious. If it happens, it happens. If a connection is made, great. If not, no harm, no foul. Like I keep saying, we just keep it moving.
So Cristian, you're one of those guys that's all over the place, right? So God bless the soul of the woman that connects with you on that level, because you're engaged with everything, man. You're on social media, so you're not a private guy. In some capacity, you might be private.
Yeah.
But people know your face. They know your businesses. They know you're connected with all these people. You're constantly networking. You're doing all these things. You have to find somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have to find somebody who matches that, who can support you, and who has that same mindset in a sense where that's my man. I'm supporting him. Yeah. I got to go out to these events as arm candy. I have to go in there and introduce myself as this person, because half of it is relationship, half of it is business, right?
Yeah.
Because that girl has to understand that she is now a influencer who's connected to you.
Right.
Right? So you can't find somebody who doesn't want to be on camera. You can't find somebody who doesn't really want to go out and meet your buddies and talk solar, because she's an extension of you. Damn. That's hard to find, right?
Damn.
So like with my relationship with my wife, we're an extension of each other. We're a package deal.
Yeah.
When you get Johnny, you get Jessica, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we both do the same thing. We talked about it over lunch earlier.
Right.
Whatever I say, she says. And whatever she says, I say. It's rare that we're not on the same sheet of music, or we're not in lockstep.
Right.
So does she agree with me on everything? Hell no. We can't agree on everything, but when we're out in public or doing our business thing, we are extension of each other. Yep. In sync, man.
That's right.
Just like Justin Timberlake, right? We are in sync.
Yeah.
And you have to be. So how hard is it for a woman to take on that task of being in a relationship with Cristian Montalvo?
It's difficult. It is difficult, because you're absolutely right. And recently I found someone. We've been friends on Facebook for quite some time, and we've been wanting to get to know each other. We've been wanting to see each other, meet up for coffee and all this stuff. And then when we finally met up, it was like a big punch in the gut for me, because she is great. And she's so great that it kind of bothered me. And I'll tell you why. She reminded me of the female version of me. I'm like, damn, I love her. She's great. Like, damn, she's just like me. She's a little annoying. You know why? I swear that's what I thought. I was like, damn, she's like, I finally got to meet her. I'm like, she's great. I'm like, man, she's annoying. She's just like me because she paid me no mind. You know, I showed up to a networking event to chop it up with her. She showed up for me. And then she's like, oh, let me go to this table. And I'm like, shit, that's a move that I would have done. I'm like, man, like, one, if she has a romantic interest, she's doing a takeaway from me like I would have done because I'm in sales, right? And the other thing is this, like, that's a move that I would have done. Did I follow? No, I just sat there awkwardly like, damn, like, this girl's just like me. Now, I get the one that's nothing like me. Then I get the one that's too similar to me. And it's like, I've got to be able to also mold myself to her because she's dominant in her industry. She's done what I'm doing now. Like, she's literally a beast. And I'm like, how do I?
She's not literally a beast, is she? That means she's ugly and hairy.
No. Sales. No, I'm the beast. I'm the ugly one. You know, but, you know, she's accomplished some things that I didn't know about her. I'm like, whoa, like, you know, this is who I aspire to be. This is someone that could, you know, definitely make me a better person.
Right.
So now that I've met someone like that, it's like, okay, so Cristian, you wanted someone similar to you, like Johnny's saying, but now that you found someone like it, it's like, whoa, like I didn't, because I'm used to finding someone who's not at that level. And this one is either at my level or a little bit higher. So now I feel like I got to step my game up. So, yeah.
So let me get deeper in the weeds on this, right?
Do you have to?
So can they truly match you? Because it's safe to say you're an alpha.
Yeah.
Right? You're a dominant guy.
Yeah.
You like to dominate in the sense that you like to be up front and give, you know, the presentation.
Right.
Can you have somebody truly that is just like you? Or do they have to be tapered back a little bit? So, for instance, I'll give you this. I'm the alpha. My wife is the beta. We can't have two alphas because then we step on each other's toes. We're not doing truly the same thing. If we do the same thing, we cancel each other out.
Right.
My wife's the behind-the-scenes person. You'll hardly ever see her on camera. You're hardly ever seeing her doing some kind of thing where, hey, I'm out here, you know, helping people do this. No, she's a behind-the-scenes person.
Yeah.
And that's what helps us, yin-yang, right? That helps us where we're a unit where one person is the fisherman and one person is the one cutting the fish up, preparing it to eat.
Yep.
And she does that. I'm hunter-gatherer, same kind of thing.
Yeah. You hook 'em, I cook 'em type of thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Hook 'em and cook 'em.
You know what? I think I would like someone, you know, similar to me. I also want an alpha, but I want a mature alpha. Because in 2024, when you say things like that, people get offended, people get very delicate, people take it very pessimistic. You know, I want to be the alpha, but I don't want to be in control. Make your own money, have your own career, be a boss bitch, you know, do what you gotta do, but understand one thing, that in our faith, you know, it's Christ, it's husband, it's wife, and it's kids. If you can understand that at home, and I think that comes by having a clear communication, a clear understanding, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table, that's what you're bringing to the table, and this is the hierarchy that we're gonna follow. Right? If we can do that, then we'll be great. Because I never want to outshine my wife. If anything, I want to lift her up wherever we're at. And I don't want her to outshine me. I want her to lift me up, and then we lift each other up. But we have to know a time and a place for when that happens.
Right.
Right? We have to be supportive. I'm never going to correct her in public. You know, hey, after the fact, afterwards, hey, you know what? I would have said this. I would have done that. I would have handled it this way. If you're open to advice, suggestions, and if you're open to some coaching, right?
It's mentorship. That's what you're doing.
Right.
You should be able to communicate with your significant other.
If we can do that, which I believe it all starts with communication. When you sit down at a negotiating table, whether it's business, life, or romance, we have to be able to communicate. This is what I bring to the table. These are my expectations of what you should be bringing to the table, so then we can move forward and be successful at whatever we do. If we do life, if we do business, if we do romance together, this is what we should be doing, that yin-yang.
Yep. Spot on, man.
Yep.
So today's business and life, I love the women empowerment thing, okay? Because now women, they know that they're either equal or better than men in some capacity, or maybe not some, more than some capacity. Women are smarter. They give a better presentation. They're looked at as more credible, knowledgeable, bad bitch, right?
Right.
Boss bitch. You said it earlier.
Yep.
So there's a lot of that going on. And those are alpha females.
Yep.
Strong-minded, strong-willed. They don't take shit from nobody, right? So I love that. But that might be for a strong man, that might be intimidating, or it might not be as productive, because those strong women, just like strong men, are going to be like, who are you to tell me what to do? I'm over here living the dream. I'm conquering everything. And people are buying my product. People are looking at my social media. So there's a sense, you know, in the back of your mind, social media is another layer of status, right? So these boss babes or whatever they are, they're on a whole nother level than a lot of men. And I'm one of those. I look at these women, and there's a lot more women influencers today than there are men. Let's just keep it real.
Right.
Let's keep it honest. It's not a controversial topic. Women are in the forefront.
Yep.
In a lot of industries, whether it be politics, whether it be solar, whether it be real estate, whatever. Women are there.
Right.
So do you think it's harder today to find a alpha woman to connect with you? And I'm going back to that question again.
Yeah.
But it's tougher today, I think.
It depends on the maturity level of the man. Because if you remember my answer, I said I want a mature alpha female.
Okay.
What that means is that she knows her position. And again, this is for me, my lifestyle, my faith, and my religion. If she knows her position on the hierarchy of Christ, husband, wife, and children, I'm okay with whatever she wants to do as a profession or in business. The problem is in 2024, a lot of women think of women, maybe God, my husband, and then children. And then that messes up the hierarchy of
the pecking order.
It
right?
it doesn't work, because now you have a man either feels inferior or they feel in competition with their wife. And that's where we start to have disagreements, arguments, fighting. It doesn't work out. Why? Because someone is trying to dominate the other instead of, you know, is it always 50-50? No. Sometimes my wife may be 25% and I'm going to be 75 so we can make it 100.
Situational,
right? We can't, you know, say cookie cutter 50-50 all the time. Sometimes I got to take charge. Sometimes I got to take control. Sometimes I got to make the decision on what the family's going to do for the better sake of the family, because I'm still the protector. I'm still the provider. I'm still the alpha male when it comes to it. Because I think if she's the one who has that masculine energy, then it throws everything off.
Yep.
Then she's the one in charge saying, we're going to do this, that, the other. And it's not that she can't.
No.
God bless these women. I respect them. Boss babes, boss bitches, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm okay with that. The problem now is that because we're changing energy, now she has less respect for her man because he is in female energy. And he's not making the decisions to be a provider or protector for the family.
And he's no longer the masculine dominant guy. Once a guy loses respect of his significant other or spouse or wife, girlfriend, whatever, it's over.
It's over.
Men want the loyalty and they want the respect and the appreciation. Yeah. I know I do.
Yeah.
I want my wife to say, hey, Johnny, I appreciate you. Hey, Johnny, thanks for protecting us. Thanks for providing all these things. Not that she doesn't do it, but that is so vital. And you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
Once the woman dominates the relationship, it kind of handcuffs and declaws the man. He's no longer a man. Now he's just a servant, kind of.
I've seen it happen.
Right?
I've seen it ruin relationships where it's okay for you to be a woman that, you know, is educated, someone who's in business, someone who's successful. I get it. The problem is when you feel like you're better than your husband is when you're going to start to have conflict in that relationship. I want my woman to be the very best that she can be. I don't need her money. She doesn't need my money, but we do need each other to have a successful relationship, a successful romance, and a successful family. I'm going to end that with this. There's a young lady that I know. You forgot I'm a published photographer.
I didn't add that to you.
I forgot to mention it. I'm a published photographer in California and also here in Texas. I've done a couple of covers. So there was a model I was working with, and she recently posted on her Instagram account. I still keep in touch with a lot of the models that I work with. She put something on social media crying in her car saying, I feel cheated. I feel robbed. For the last few years growing up, I thought that being a bad bitch and a boss bitch was independence, and it's not. I'm in my mid-30s. I haven't found anyone because I don't give them the time of day because I think I'm better than them. And now I need a man, I need a husband, and I need a family very dearly because that's missing in my life. Being this bad persona as a female has gotten me nothing when it comes to having a family. And when I heard it from a female, it was a game changer. It's like, oh, okay, so it's not just men seeing that. It's not just men feeling that. It's also women now starting to feel like our DNA wants a companion. Our DNA, deep down inside our roots, our fibers want the opposite, sex to start a family with, and she's missing that because she said, I've been lied to. I felt bamboozled. I feel like I was cheated out of this because I'm too busy living this boss babe lifestyle that hasn't gotten me what I want, which is a family.
It could be delusional. And a lot of people are delusional. I've seen it time and time again, and they never gain the opportunity to have the family because they're so dominant in putting out this persona that they are so strong-willed that they miss the finer things in life. Yeah. Family, great relationship with a husband, all these things, man. So
I think I got a little something on that though too. Though, like I think as men though we get caught up so much in what we're wanting in life because of a past relationship, the way people think about us, and then what gets worse about men is sometimes I think some alpha men will express themselves to be a badass. I think sometimes, but a lot more men that do that are hiding something about themselves, and to where these women, I think they'll let all of it out to make sure they stay on top as that boss bitch type girl, But a lot of men need to understand too, like they get like that too, but don't. I guess in some ways they fall quicker than the girls do, the women do in some ways, because I feel like women are just more strong-minded towards that situation. You know what I mean? Of being that alpha woman, like you said. Alpha women are always going to be there, of course, and just like men, but those relationships don't last because you see a lot more women leaving the men quicker, And there's a podcaster. Her name is Bobby Atcliffe, if I'm correct. Her podcast grew, and she was this mom on TikTok, literally doing weird, not weird, but it's natural mom things that you would do with your child, right? Now she's this podcaster, and she's breaking up with her boyfriend or husband of so long, and a lot of that came from her gaining that credibility of being this podcaster and being with Drake and all these people. You turn that on, and that's where that bad bitch switch will turn on, and next thing you know, you're losing relationships and all that stuff because of that, and who knows what's going to come out of it. And I'm not necessarily saying that's exactly how she is too, but you see that in celebrities and things like that. So when we're out here in the regular world, I think that changes a lot of what a lot of us see towards a relationship.
It's a delicate thing, and there's some delusion in there, and it's the perception you give off, and social media, I think, has ruined a lot of people's perceptions.
Right.
Because everybody's trying to impress on social media and make themselves known and things. But yeah, man, I can go on and on about those kind of things. I got 100 examples, but we'll just press on, brother. So what motivates you, Cristian? When you wake up in the morning, man, or when you go to bed at night, what motivates you for the next day or for that day? I mean, what keeps your fire burning in your chest, man?
I've been shot at. I've had more than one gun pointed at me, one at my face. I had a heart attack at 36. I've seen a lot of my friends perish. I've seen a lot of my friends doing, life in jail, in prison. Some for murder, some for drug possession. I've got a guy right now fighting a case in California. They found him with 126 kilos.
Holy.
We're gonna see how that goes.
That's it?
That's it. So here's my main motivation, and a lot of people, yeah. Yeah, so here's my main motivation, and I want to look at the camera, and I want people to understand this. This is you when you're born, and this is you at 10 years old, and at 20, and at 30, and I'm right about here, like 48. I don't know how much more time. And this isn't promised, by the way, right? I've seen people perish in elementary, middle school, high school, and throughout. But my point is this: as the older I get, the more time is of the essence. The more I need to get shit done before it's my time to expire. Because there's a clicking clock and a clicking watch that is taking time. And at some point, Johnny, Jay, Christian, and everybody watching has an expiration date.
One of us is next here. Of us three, one of us is next. We don't know which one it is.
Bro, let me tell you something. That's what motivates me. Because I don't know how much time I got. You know, I was sitting with my brother in Houston and family, a cousin and whatnot. And we're throwing back a few tequila shots. And he's like, man, you're always working. And I think for the first time in my life, I told him, and he sort of understood. I said, bro, you know why I do this? He goes, I don't know why you're always working and you're always doing this and then. You can never relax. You can never chill. I said, because I need to be a millionaire or multimillionaire in the next 3 years. He says, why? I said, because I don't know how much time I got, bro. I don't know how much time I got. It's not promised to me. It's not promised to you. And if I make it, I make it. And if I don't, I'm going to fucking die trying. So what motivates me, time is of the essence. There's a clicking clock somewhere that we don't know. And it hasn't been promised and it hasn't been guaranteed. So I'm pushing like it's my last day every single day. That's what motivates me.
Time is valuable. There's nothing more valuable than time. And you can't get it back. You can get money back. You can get your health back.
Anything. Possessions.
You can get a relationship back,
Yep.
but you can't get time back.
Yep. If I get I know you're in a serious one, but if I can get my relationship back, I'm going to get her back with a husband and 3 kids, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Dude.
Just kidding.
Bro. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Right
Yeah. Listen.
I was like, wait a second. I was like, husband.
Yeah, that's a shift in itself. No, guys, you know, the one thing that I could never get back is time. And sometimes we lose times in the bad relationship. Sometimes we lose time with, you know, bad business ventures, bad business partners, bad decisions. I'm one of the ones that is just like you, Johnny. I'm not afraid to talk about my learning experiences. I'm not afraid to say this didn't work out. I'm not afraid to say this failed, you know. Yeah. And if anything, I take personal responsibility to say, if there was a reason why it didn't work out, it was because of me. Not the economy, not the president, not inflation, not my partners. If it didn't work, it's because of me. I'm going to take that responsibility and say, me. But I give it my very best every single day because I think time is of the essence, and we only have a short time here.
I got a question, Cristian. So you're saying that, so would you say you want to be a multimillionaire in the next couple of years? Like, is money your drive right now, like in life, is what you would say? Because you talk about, you obviously, again, you said you don't know how much time you got, but is money your drive right now in life for that time, that small time that you have?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because money is the root of all evil. If you're sinning, committing crimes, screwing people over, doing the wrong thing, not being immoral, not being ethical, not being truthful, if you're lying, then money is the root of all evil. But money is also a tool. I can use that tool to break a generational curse. I could use that tool to bless others. I could use that tool to start a nonprofit. I could use that tool to start a church. I could use that tool to bless the people around me.
To hire people, to start businesses.
It's a blessing. But I think the misconception that most of the audience has, or society in itself, is that money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. But money
depends on what you do with it, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if I become a millionaire now, I could start a strip club like that.
So it's okay. Go ahead.
But I could also start a church.
I was about to say, okay,
like
exactly,
that.
exactly. Depends on what you do with it.
Right.
A lot of people are afraid to say that they love money and money drives them. They're afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because it sounds unpopular.
Right.
Because it sounds like you're being greedy.
Yep.
Right? And you're chasing all this money.
Too much.
We all love money, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said, I have too much money. It sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate the Lexus I'm in, you know. I hate the trip to Cancun that I just took in a resort, right? Nobody says that, but I think it comes down to the root problem is the relationship that people have with money.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with it? If it's a toxic one, then you're going to think that money is toxic and evil and it's not good. But if you know that you can bless other people, you can be a way out for people to get out of the hood, get out of violence, get out of an abusive relationship with their husband, where you can say, hey, you don't need to be in that household taking that abuse. Let me put you up in a hotel, motel while you go to a nonprofit and get your life together. You can do that with money. So I'm not afraid to say, because my relationship with money is a good one, I'm not afraid to say that that my main motivation is money, but not just the money part, is what I can do with that money. How many people can I bless? How many people can I touch? How many lives can I change with that money?
Yeah. Can I open up a little bit about here? We were at lunch earlier, and I talked about sometimes not feeling like I'm in my place when I'm with certain people, right? Mm-hmm. Like what Christian's explaining here, I actually sat with myself a couple months ago. Was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. You know what I mean? And I just felt like, man.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, no, I felt like in some ways getting to that aspect of where that's at, like, I was that person. I want money. I want things. I didn't have things. I want a lot of things. Right. But I found happiness in sitting at home sometimes a lot. And like, it sounds cool because I was that person too, that wanted to always work. Right. But when I found a little bit of that happiness in the video games and sitting at home, I was like, shit, man, like, where did I go? Why? That's why sometimes I don't feel I belong in those rooms sometimes, you know? And so that's what I see out of you. Is like, damn, I lost that too. You know what I mean? But it's scary to go back to that place for me, because I know where it also took me, wanting money, but I wasn't doing it with the right ways. You know what I mean? So
the right reasons.
Yeah. And it's that those are the things that bother me the most. I was like, shit, like, I love being around all these people, but it's like I'm having to play catch up and I can't catch up. You know what I mean? But I love that I'm in this space because it motivates the shit out of me. But I'm just not one of those people anymore that can't find the motivation every day, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, but J-Rock he's learning. He's getting the experience through us.
Yeah.
He's not only through us, but through other people that he extends to. He's an extension of a lot of great people. We're all an extension of great people, all of us, right? You just have to learn, and you have to learn how to win, and you got to learn the dialogue. You got to learn the mentality. It's repetition of it. Right. You can't just listen to a podcast and your life changes. You can't just read a book and your life changes. You got to believe in it, and you got to have it on repeat constantly. You got to live it, man, and you got to constantly try to get the money, and you got to try to do good with it. Yeah. Sure, could I go get some fucking cocaine and booze and hookers and all? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But I can also open up a business that employs hundreds of people. Right. So it all depends on what you want, and that is good perspective. Yeah. And I love that you said, and that you're not afraid to say, I want money. Yeah. Because other people say, oh no, I want something else. You know, I don't want money, because they're afraid to say that because they're going to sound greedy to somebody. Right. And that's the other idea, that I'm trying to please people. Be you. Be genuine. If you want fucking money, say, I want money. Exactly. That is my drive.
Be 100.
Because then people are going to look at you as fake, and people know a fake person.
And that's the reason why I said it. Because it's going to resonate with someone where they're like, man, I never saw it that way. I always thought money was a bad thing. I always thought money was being, too greedy or being too ambitious and is the root of all evil. That's why I said money, because people are afraid to talk about money. I'm not afraid to talk about money because I know what I can do with it. Right? Let's go back to, let's just talk about your Second Amendment right to carry a firearm. You could carry a firearm and rob a bank or a liquor store. You could knock up a liquor store. You could carjack someone, or you could have that same firearm in your house to protect your loved ones, right? So it depends on what you do with that tool that's gonna determine the outcome. So if you have a bad relationship with money, you're always gonna think the worst of it. If you change your mindset to have a good outcome with that money, then it's going to change that relationship as well.
Because every person on TikTok, every person on social media, they want money.
Yeah.
And you can fucking admit it.
Yeah.
Quit denying it and quit lying to yourself.
Right.
You want money because you want to live nice. You want to live lavish. You want to get that Mercedes. You want to get that vacation. So quit fooling yourself and quit trying to fool others. Quit trying to lie.
And some people, when they get it, they feel unworthy of it.
Yeah.
Part of that comes with not being able to love yourself. You deserve everything. God didn't create us to be poor or mediocre or broke or struggling, right? We were created in his image. Therefore, we deserve greatness. So we need to be able to take that upon ourselves and not to continue to live a scarcity life set by being poor. Not poor, financially, not poor with material things, but poor in our mindset, poor in our spirit, right? We need to live that rich life.
Yep. Be educated. Quit being ignorant. And when I say ignorant, meaning not knowing. There's so much information and so many outlets where you can learn about money, learn about business, learn how to open up a lemonade stand, learn how to monetize your efforts and your strategies and all these things. I mean, because there's so many books. Everything is based on money today, right? Based on relationships, but also money. Money's the outcome. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be great. But not everybody can do it. We need somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. We need somebody who doesn't have a lot of education, right? It sucks for me to say this, what I'm about to say, but it's a freaking truth. We need somebody to take out the garbage.
Yeah, someone to cook our meals.
We need somebody to sweep.
100%.
Not everybody can be the damn CEO of the company.
Nope.
Right? We need people to commit crimes, or else police wouldn't be in existence. We need all these things. They're part of the bigger picture.
It's biblical. Jesus said, bless the poor because they will always be among us.
But you said time is of the essence.
Yes.
In whatever timeline you have in your life, get it. Get it while the getting is good, right?
100%.
And if you fall off, hey, it's okay. It wasn't your calling, all right? But you got to make sure that the opportunities are abundant by you building them. Opportunities are all around us every single day, right? It's up to us to find them. It's up to us to plug in and connect. No pun intended with this podcast. But it's up to us to merge with smart people, to merge with people that have ideas, ambitions, strategies, processes, and it makes us better. Because the old cliche, if you're the smartest person in the room, get the hell out of that room, man.
You need a bigger room.
Get out, because you're minimizing yourself.
You're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
So,
and here's one thing that I want to say to what Jay was alluding to is, finish this sentence for me. You could be at the right place at the right
time.
What else?
Enlighten me.
With the right people.
With the right people. Okay.
Here's why I say that. Jay's in a room of people that, correct me if I'm wrong, he probably looks up to, he admires, and he thinks those people are something or someone special. Well, guess what? You're sitting at that table. You're in that room. You're equally as special.
We think he's special.
You just have different gifts and talents that you need to tap into. Because everything you're doing right now behind the scenes,
he's important, man.
Dude, this guy, it's German to me. He's doing this and that. And I'm like, that's what you bring to the table. That's your calling. Those are your talents and gifts that everyone at that table is looking at you like, damn, how does he do it?
Him and I are one piece.
How does he do it?
We're together. He's like my arm or my leg or whatever. I can't be without J-Rock on the podcast. Right. There's no way.
Right. Exactly.
And in other facets, it's not just about the podcast.
Exactly.
It's about other things. I feed off this guy. He feeds off me. Just like he's my work wife. Yep. Okay. Just like my wife at home.
No Diddy.
No
Diddy.
No Diddy. Pause.
No Diddy.
We'll pause. No homo.
No Diddy.
Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, he's an extension of me.
Yeah.
And you're now an extension of me in a business sense.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Now I can go to you for resources and insight and things like that. And that's what we need to do, man. Not only in business, but in life. Connect with smart people. There's so many smart people out there, but you can't be afraid to connect. And you cannot look at everybody as competition. Stop that shit. I'm going to look in the camera right now. Stop with the competition bullshit, man. Yeah. It's stupid.
It's a killer.
It's stupid.
It's a killer because I can never compare to you. You can't compare to me. You know who you are. I know who I am. I know what we both bring to the table to better serve our community. Mm-hmm. If I'm in competition with you, I'm focused on what you're doing. If I'm in competition with you, I'm focused on what I can't do. And none of that serves our community. We can't serve the community when we're thinking that way. So very important, we need to know what our gifts are. We need to know what our talents are. We need to know what we bring to the table and how we can collaborate with others to bring to the table together and be able to serve our community better.
Gifts and talents, let's talk about that. What is your primary gift and talent, man? What makes you special? What can nobody else do that you do? What are you the best at?
Like this on camera. I don't know where or how, and people say, oh, how could you just, you know, when I'm like at a conference and they say, hey, Christian, can we just get something? You know, we'll take like 3 or 4 or 5 different shots or takes until we get it right. And I'm like, okay, put me on. Brrr, done. They're like, holy shit, you did that in 30 seconds. It was a one take. I'm used to it. How do you do it? I don't know. Here's what I do know is that it comes with time. It comes with experience. It's not something that you just wake up doing. And I will say this for the people that like to compare themselves. You know, people are always wanting to be like you. You can't be like me because I'm me, right? We all have a set of fingerprints that are very unique to us. No one else in the entire world has those fingerprints but you. You need to find out what that gift and what that talent is for you, polish it up, make it better, but it only comes by practice. Practice makes...
perfect.
No. Practice makes progress.
Progress.
Because if we're trying to be perfect,
you'll never be perfect.
We're never going to get it.
You'll never be perfect.
Yeah. Practice makes progress, 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 progress. Always get better at what you think or what you know that particular skill set is. For me, I have a dream of impacting people's lives by being a public speaker, a keynote speaker, by giving conferences and seminars all over the world. That's what I would love to do, but I do this in any platform that I have a chance to do that. So I think I'm a natural born leader. Again, started a gang when I was in my teenage years. I led them, you know, I influenced them. I think those are some of the traits that I have. None of those.
Were you the best gang in the hood?
No, we weren't. But we were striving to get there. You know, when
progress.
When you see that guy, that yoked guy, you know, that built guy with a whole bunch of muscles, he didn't wake up like that in the morning. It took time. So if I can give anybody any advice is be patient, take your time. But if you know what you want to do, keep working at it daily. And eventually in that area, you're going to be one of the very best. And no one can stop you.
Hell yeah, man. That is great advice for not only a young entrepreneur, but somebody struggling. Consistency, get out there.
Yeah.
Just do the damn thing, man.
Yeah. Someone struggling.
And just seek advice. Be coachable.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. You know, you always want to learn from people that are more successful than you, right? And I hate to say it, and you know, there's a lot of financial advisors in San Antonio. So when I first started networking, they dubbed me Network King, right? The last KING was in capital because I was networking all the time. And one thing that I saw was there was a lot of realtors, there was a lot of state life. I don't want to say the name of the company, but there was a lot of financial advisors. And one thing that I learned very quickly is I don't want to take financial advice or wealth management from someone who's not financially sound and doesn't have wealth, right? Why would I do that? So you always want to surround yourself with people that are more successful than you. It's okay. Don't be intimidated by it. Learn from them. Be coachable 100%. You know, never be the one that is too cool to learn, right? There's certain things that I don't know that I have to ask, and it's okay to ask because it makes me a better person.
Absolutely, man, 100%.
You said something, you said a key word in your question. What happens to those people that are struggling in business? You know, consistency. You may not be good today, but that may change tomorrow. You may not be good this week, but it's going to change next week. You may not be good this month, but it's going to change next month. You might not be good this year. Look for another career.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna fluctuate though. It's gonna go up and down.
Up and down.
Motivation goes up, it goes down. Yep. Consistency
is key.
And dedication is the key.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Yep.
Right. Because one day I could feel so bad, and maybe I have a bad month in sales. Right.
Yeah.
But you can't give up. Businesses don't fail. People quit. That is the problem. Businesses never fail. People quit, and then the business, of course, goes out of business, and then because it's a decision that's made, right?
Yep.
But in that sense, you got to stay committed and consistent,
right,
with your output and with your input. You got to listen to people. You got to be coachable. If you figure out, hey, something's going on, our sales aren't there, start asking people.
Yeah.
Start looking for advice. And people don't want to look for advice, and then they just fizzle out.
Because of their pride or their ego, right? I'm not afraid to ask, hey, what do you think I could have done different, right? When I coach someone, as an alpha male in sales and marketing, I always want to give my 2 cents. But I learned that not everyone wants to hear your 2 cents. Not everyone is ready for the truth. Not everyone is ready for suggestions, advice, opinions, coaching, mentoring. So what I've learned to do, hey, Johnny, are you open to some coaching? Yeah, I am. Great. Now that I have your permission, listen, this is what I would have done in that situation. This is why. Been there, done that. I have the t-shirt, right? I got the numbers to prove it. Nowadays, everyone's a guru. Everyone wants to follow the person who just closed 2 deals versus the one who's closed 300, right? So we have to know where we're getting that information from, but we have to be coachable to that person, suggesting, advising, coaching, and mentoring us. We have to be open to that. One thing that I say is that the mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open. You have to have an open mind. You have to be humble. You have to put your ego and your pride aside to learn from others, because it's only going to make you a better person.
Absolutely, my man. So before we wrap it up, I got a couple of questions, man. We'll wrap it up with this. So in the world of networking, is too much networking a good thing or a bad thing? And what I mean by too much networking, if you have 15 to 20 networking events a month versus 3, is too much networking too much? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I believe too much networking is too much. I was dubbed the network king of San Antonio because I wanted to take a picture, a selfie everywhere I was, every event that I attended. Sometimes it was 2 events a day, sometimes 3 a day. So that kept me busy. But you have to ask yourself, if you're doing that much networking, how much business are you actually getting done? Right? If you are attending every lunch and learn, how many houses are you selling? If you're attending every CE course or every CE class, how many people have you talked to in regards to either buying or selling a home? So sometimes networking can get the better of us. I want to relate it to this. A fitness coach, for example. Fitness coach, their ideal goal is to get you in shape to your ideal weight, your ideal physique, and how you want to look. And then they want to leave you alone so they can move on to the next person that they can train and coach. For example, credit repair, right? We want to get your credit to where it's supposed to be so then we could move on to somebody else. If not, all it is just repetitive over and over and over again without achieving the results that you want. So if you're networking too much, you have to ask yourself, how many relationships am I building? How much business am I conducting? How much money am I making from it? Because if all you're doing is networking, you haven't mastered networking, you've mastered how to be social.
That's all you are. You're social.
Social.
And I think you're transactional only. Are you really building the relationship, or are you just building transactions? When I say transactions, meaning touch and goes. Sure, I can touch 100 people's hand by shaking it, right? But am I truly connecting with that person? Is that person really going to want to do business with me? Does that person really get to know me besides just on the surface? So the reason why I ask that question is because I see a lot of people out there constantly doing the networking thing, which is great. That's the way to do business today. You got to meet people. You got to get out of your comfort zone. It builds confidence. It builds all these kind of intangibles, right? But I did reach out to this one person, and I said, hey, I see what you're doing on social media. You're networking. You're promoting not only yourself but other business owners. Yada yada yada. How can we connect? Right? I'm interested. So they said, well, fill out this form, this digital form, and I'll get back to you.
Damn.
That's not networking.
Ooh,
that's
wow.
just a transactional thing.
Yeah.
And it turned me off.
Yeah, it would have turned me off.
So I
too.
said, you know what? Thank you for letting me know up front that you're not a true networker.
Yeah.
You're just a transaction person. Thank you.
Damn. For a second, I thought you were talking about me. You said someone who's doing things, someone who's networking, and but I think you have to be genuine. That is very transactional. And I think one of the things is that there is a science, there is an art form to networking. From locking eyes, shaking hands, hearing someone out, listening to them, understanding what they do, asking first, second, third, fourth level questioning, keep the conversation going, not make it about yourself, compliment them. There's a science to it. And most people, when they network, they show up, hey, my name is Johnny, I'm a realtor. Do you have a house that you want to sell or something that you want to buy? Right? Versus, hey, my name is Johnny, but I'm not important. Tell me about you. Tell me what it is that you do. Oh, really? How long have you been doing that? Which area is your area of expertise? What do you foresee in the future? What do you think about the market conditions? Who are the families that you can help? How can I bring value to you? Who can I put in front of you that you can help? We want to come from a servant, spirit. We want to come from a servant heart instead of just me. Because if it's all about you, no one's going to remember you because you didn't make that person feel special. You didn't make that person feel valued. You didn't make that person feel like they mattered. Now you're transactional. So
absolutely.
You have to know how to network. One of the things that bothers me the most is on the daily, I get people who friend me. Their friend requests me on Facebook, and the first thing, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? I don't even know your name. Mm-hmm. You don't even know my name, which is kind of odd because it's on my profile, and they still misspell it. And I'm like, this guy or gal is not paying any attention to what they're doing. All they want to do is kind of verbally throw up on people. This is what I do. This is surprising. This is what we're better. Listen, nobody cares what you do. Nobody cares about your product. Nobody cares about your service because people don't buy a product or service. They're buying the emotion, how you made them feel. If I made Johnny Martinez feel special, valued, heard out, if I make you feel that way, you're going to take more interest in me and what I do. And that's the way that you network. It's never about you. It's always about the other person. But we go back to that scarcity mindset. I want to sell a product or a service or my business. Or this is how we can help you. This is what we can do. Shut up. Let the other person talk about them. Make them feel special. And then maybe there's certain times where I don't even talk about my business. One, I'm too busy learning about them. Or two, I don't talk about what I do. One, it piques curiosity. Because later on, hey, Christian, had a great conversation with you the other day, but I thought it was all about me. Why don't we grab some coffee and tell me about you? Now it's my turn.
Bam.
We have to learn when is our shot? When do we shoot our shot? It's not always about us. When do we pull the trigger? When is it the right time, right? And most people don't understand how to network. That's why no one remembers them. That's why they continue to network, trying to find a deep connection, but you can't find a deep connection at a surface level.
Superficial, man, on the surface. So, my man, you just dropped a bunch of nuggets. That was like a 10-piece nugget over at McDonald's.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one golden nugget. You had 10, at least. Networking is an art form. It's technique. There's a process involved. Make the other people feel special. It's not about you. So people write books about that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
So great insight. Great conversation overall, my man.
Absolutely.
And I got one last question for you, but before I do that, I just want to touch base.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on.
You're definitely an influencer. You're definitely a leader. You started from El Salvador, and now you're here today, man. Yeah. Started from the hood, and now you're on to good.
Yeah.
Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah. From the hood to doing good, baby.
To hood to doing good, man. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure. We had a lot of great nuggets, a lot of great conversation. We look forward to having you on future shows and be part of our network, man.
Thank you.
So final question.
Yes, sir.
Who plays Cristian Montalvo in a movie?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Okay, and why?
Yeah. I think the different characters he's played over time, he's very diverse. He's done some sales roles that I enjoyed.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
Great movie.
you know, I'm more like Wall Street. I'm more like Glengarry Glen Ross, more like the Boiler Room.
Brass balls.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it takes. So, you know, not one of my favorite movies, but the character. I think I can identify with that character, and I think he would play me well. Yeah.
Excellent, man. Yeah. Great answer. J-Rock, I think we'd have maybe Danny DeVito. What do you think? No,
for me, Danny DeVito.
I'm just kidding.
He couldn't wear my boots, bro.
J-Rock probably feels like Shaq next to Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But
no.
J-Rock, great podcast.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. Appreciate you coming out, Christian. Hell yeah, man.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks for your work. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your value, my man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Great working with both of you individuals.
Yes, sir.
And Christian, so besides here in our podcast today, where else can we find you?
You can find me under Cristian Montalvo, Cristian. That's pretty much it. You know, reach out to me on social media. On Facebook is my primary, but probably the same name under Instagram. So
Tinder,
Tinder, Bumble,
Grindr.
The other one I can't mention because now you need some sort of password to get in or whatever. At least that's what my friend said. I don't know.
Are you not any sites where Greg Abbott is blocked? Are you?
I am not. No, but if you guys want my OnlyFans account, you could find me under.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Great conversation, man. You're not only entertainer, but you are you, and that's what I love. You're not fake. You are you.
100%.
You are Cristian Montalvo, uncut, and very genuine.
Yep. Love it, hate it, or just feel indifferent about me. I'm always going to keep it 100.
My man. So as always, you can find us on Social Plug Media, the Social Plug Podcast, both on Facebook. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram as well. A lot of great content. You can find us on the Hype Club. Jerry Sauceda, the host of Hype Club. We got Kick Rocks, hosted by J-Rock. He talks jabroni talk. Sometimes he talks about wrestling. Sometimes he talks about other topics. And you can always find us on the Social Plug Podcast. You can reach out to us at socialplugmedia.net. And with that said, you are now unplugged from the Social Plug Podcast. We got Christian doing as well. We love that.